I've always really loved fountains. I love that Queen Victoria fountain in Albert Park. Love that bucket fountain in Cuba Street. And Terry Stringer's lovely fountain outside the cathedral. And the sound and how they connect with the environment they're in. And so I liked water. I mean, the big fountain was the first fountain I'd made. But a fountain within the gardens seemed like a fit that I'd like to have a go at again. With sculpture in the gardens, I have been involved in the show since its inception really, but I've always been part of either the curatorial side or the organisational side, and so I resigned from my role in that, so I was able for the first time to put in a proposal for the show. So I thought I'll make a human scale fountain because I really like the element of the water, and they all the shapes actually also relate to double helixes, you know, the DNA spiral. And I'd been working on this sort of landscape shape in smaller scale works, and so I was trying to create a rhythm where the landscape actually became a pool and then spilt into the next one. At the very top there's a globe, and so the water, how it works is there's an underground pool, and this sits at ground level on top of the pool. And so the underground pool has a little pump in it, and this time it's quite cool because it's a solar pump, so it'll only actually pump when the sun allows it to pump. So the water gets pumped up through an internal axle right up through the middle. So the axle slides into a sleeve, which is also early bronze, which has been concreted in at the gardens at the moment. We installed that last week. So the water gets pumped into the globe and then it spills out and is swept down into the first pool, and then that pool fills up and then it overflows to the next pool. This base is like a 12-sided figure, so it sort of references the clock face, but it also has these symbols on it which are abstractions of north, south, east and west. So this is south. It's like a snowman, but that's south. This is west, so there actually is a W in there. This one's north, and this one's east. These are symbols that I've used before with my metal artwork. And often these shapes occur when you're making another shape, and these are the offcuts. So this one here, which happens to be called Reservoir, same name as my fountain, is made out of the offcuts when I was making these ones. It's funny how that happens. That can quite often happen. And this is the one that referenced east, but it's like a Venetian blind, and that referenced east, and these circular ones referenced south. Well, first you start with the pattern, and I make my patterns out of plywood. So here's the pattern for the wavy landscape. So you make the pattern, and in this case then I'm doing multiple castings. I turn this pattern into aluminium, and how I did that is the same as I did for the rest of the processes. You take your pattern, and then you do a two-piece sand mould, one on the top and one on the bottom. The sand goes hard. You separate the two boxes, two sand boxes, and then you take the pattern out, and that leaves the cavity where the pattern was, and that's where the bronze goes. Once the bronze is poured into the moulds, it solidifies quite quickly. We poured these ones at about 1150 degrees, so they're pretty hot. Another reason I really love sand casting is because you get the beautiful sand texture, and it suits my faceted patterns perfectly because you get highs and lows. They're quite painterly. I mean, everyone is sort of different.